In the opening scene of Crash Episode 9, Young-wook expresses a desire to release some steam by giving himself a heroin injection. Going out into a parking lot, one of the women accompanying him buys the cocaine from a man. When he's elevated, Young-wook emerges. Although Young-wook's previous driver is ready to take him home, Young-wook is adamant about driving. He strikes a bicyclist with the car while in this state. When So-hee's father notices the accident, he has just finished dropping off a client. In an attempt to stop Young-wook, he pursues him. So-hee's father suffers severe injuries when Young-wook smashes his car into the cab and causes it to collide with another vehicle. The detectives now talk about how the vehicle was a club-used, illegal taxi. Chief Gu offers his support to the TCI. Not only is So-hee at the hospital beside her unconscious father, but she is also not there. Growing up, she remembered hearing her father tell Yun-ho that So-hee lived in the taxi. After visiting hours, she is compelled to part from her father's side. Tae-ju is waiting for So-hee outside. She accuses him of neglecting to look into the unlicensed taxi matter during his tenure as manager, despite his desire to assist. In a flashback, the two can be seen arguing about how Tae-ju resolved the case without making any arrests of the suspects, who are, like Young-wook, the offspring of well-connected people. Yun-ho and Hyun-kyung, meantime, recognized Lee Byung-chan as the regular driver of the taxi. Searching for him at the club, they talk to the woman who was with Young-wook, Mi-jin. She claims that while driving, Byung-chan and So-hee's father got into an altercation. Yun-ho and Hyun-kyung inform the others back at the TCI that Young-wook is involved. Mi-jin, though, maintains that they exited the vehicle before to the collision. In another scene, Kyung-soo awakens strapped to a chair. He is subjected to electric current torture by a man in black clothing until he utters Young-wook's name. Through the use of CCTV footage to track the vehicle, the TCI is able to pinpoint Byung-chan's exact location. They search junkyards and discover the car just before it is totally wrecked. Forensics are able to determine that 3 seatbelts were being used at the time of the collision despite the poor condition of the vehicle. DNA and blood from Young-wook were also discovered close to the driver's seat. Since he is the Commissioner General's son, Chaiman advises them to proceed with caution. Chief Gu, who is understandably worried about the situation, receives this information. Chaiman says that getting a confession from Young-wook is the next stage. After discovering all of this from Hyun-kyung, So-hee rushes to the club to speak with Young-wook directly. With conceit, Young-wook makes fun of her. Luckily, Yun-ho stops So-hee from retaliating by pulling her out. Next, while his father is waiting outside the club, Young-wook receives a call. Pyo Myung-hak is enraged about the chaos Young-wook created. Young-wook becomes enraged as well and promises his father he will handle everything on his own. In another passage, Yun-ho claims he witnessed So-hee go after Young-wook while keeping an eye on the club and waited for Byung-chan to arrive. He asserts that he will demonstrate Young-wook's guilt. Yun-ho questions Young-wook the following day, but he laughs it all off. Lee Byung-chan shows up to the police station and gives himself in at the same moment. Dong Ji-ai, who is questioning him, is unable to refute his admission of guilt. As he leaves, Young-wook agitates So-hee once more, and the others must intervene to prevent her from assaulting him. Chief Gu declines to provide the warrant when the investigators later seek for one without more proof. So-hee becomes even angrier. Yun-ho promises to catch Young-wook since he has additional motivation from a personal standpoint. Yun-ho then shows So-hee his investigation into the accident from his past while she is at his house. He informs her that when they saw Myung-hak's accident, Kyung-soo, Young-wook, and Jae-young were using his vehicle without a license. They claimed that Kyung-soo was the driver, but, as in this instance, it is evident that Young-wook utilized Kyung-soo in order to save himself. In addition, he informs her of the blackmail and the disappearance